Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Slightly different intro for this one. As you'll hear in a second, the wind noise on the first day of this trip was ridiculous. If you don't recognise where I am, well, I'm on the mighty Chesil Beach. I had a day and a night ahead of me, and after a 20-minute trek across the shingle, I made it to Dragon's Teeth. I was here for a mixed species session, hoping to catch absolutely anything. However, the filming doesn't really start until day 2, as I'll soon explain. The first day turned into a write-off, with the target instead being how many times I could hit a tin can with a pebble. Cue the B-roll. Right, so yesterday was a bit of a write-off. Obviously, when you first arrive at any venue, any place you're going to start fishing, you're really excited. You get down there and you start your session. Chesil is a bit of a trek. We parked at the Attersbury car park to pay our parking, got a bacon sandwich and a coffee, and then made our way towards Dragon's Teeth. Now, I've only been there twice, it's my second time, and the first time I came, I didn't know what I was let myself in for. Overpacked massively, it was a right mission to get to. Kind of where we are, but a bit further along. We haven't gone quite so far this time. So I did a much better job at packing light this time, and actually the walk wasn't too bad. It took about 20 minutes to get to Dragon's Teeth. What we didn't realise is at this time of year, you're not actually allowed to go beyond that. There's a fence line. And yeah, between I think it was May and August, you're not allowed to go beyond the fence line because of birds nesting and stuff like that. So we are on the boundary, we haven't gone past it. We are kind of just on the line of Dragon's Teeth. And yeah, it's nice and quiet up here. Down to the right, close to the car park, it's been absolutely full of anglers. A lot of people lure fishing, I'm guessing for the mackerel, casting feathers out, which each to their own. If you live local and this is your place to come and do that, fair enough, but so yeah, haven't done any of that, I've just been bottom fishing. And yeah, I've got here yesterday, we've got to the mark about 11 o'clock, which was kind of on, just starting the first push, about 2 hours after low tide. Got set up and started fishing. Now it's quite a strong southwesterly, or west-southwesterly, pushing straight into us essentially. Gone across the beach slightly, but yeah, it was bringing in quite a lot of swell, quite a lot of waves, and for my capabilities, I'm not ashamed to deny it, I am not used to this type of fishing at all. I can't cast the distances to get past all the swells and stuff like that, so I really struggled to even get my leads to hold ground. Tried my best, kept recasting, but wasn't having much luck. Didn't want to get frustrated, but I thought I'd give it a few more goes, which led to a lot of frustration because not only did I break one rod, but I broke both my rods. So stupidly I bought a really old kind of broomstick beach caster. Brother gave it to me years and years ago. It must be like 30 odd years old, that beach caster. And 2 of the eyes went. So after a while I was casting, and literally as I was trying to cast, the line would snap as I was bringing it over. So I didn't lose any rigs, but it just kept snapping. It happened 3 times in a row. Found one eye that was broken, thought I fixed the problem, and then there's another eye as well. So I retired that rod with some dignity, kind of, and started fishing with one rod. A few casts later, tried a little bit harder to get that distance, and my Gorilla Assault rod, I've only had less than a year, probably caught a handful of fish on it, and that snapped in the final tip. Clean break, snapped off. So yeah, I was down to no rods, and that was what, 5 o'clock in the afternoon by that point. No signs of fish, had no taps. Out of the 3 of us, had no taps. It was really hard fishing. Not used to this sort of stuff. It's not for the faint-hearted. I was hoping to come in the summer this time, have a beautiful summer's day, nice flat calm, cast out a flapper rig or bream rig on one rod, bigger bait on a pulley rig or something like that, and just catch mixed species. But it hasn't been like that at all. It's been really difficult. Even now it's calm. Hopefully you can hear me because there's still a little bit of a wind and the sea's crashing in. So yeah, obviously that was not ideal. I was down to no rods. Luckily Nate did bring a spare rod, but I can't put this kindly, it's not the best rod in the world. Can't really cast it that far. So I decided to kind of just stop fishing for a bit and just enjoy mate's company. Actually we had a right giggle, right laugh, loads of throwing stones and cans and bottles and stuff. Just, you know, real simple but fun stuff. And also Nate has a couple of other friends coming later that evening who are going to bring me another spare rod, slightly better, which I'll show you in a bit. And yeah, I thought I'm going to get a bit of sleep, get a couple hours sleep. It was due to calm down about 11 o'clock at night, so I thought if I get a bit of sleep now, 7, 8 o'clock, get a couple hours sleep, I'll be able to be a bit more fresh start, fresh mindset, fish the night. I was hoping to cast out some big baits of mackerel and squid and get some things like some conger, or bigger species, bullhuss, potentially taupe, stuff like that. That didn't go to plan either because it was then 5 o'clock in the morning. So I slept from 9 o'clock probably by the time I got to sleep, 9 o'clock all the way to 5 o'clock. Apparently they were shouting at me, not right next to me, but shouting from a distance, wasn't waking me up. Apparently there's a couple of foxes nosing around, getting right in my tent, didn't wake me up. So I don't know, I did feel really tired, whether it's the sea air, early start, family life catching up on me, trying to fish, work, family, do stuff around the house. Maybe it just caught up with me. I've got a bit of a sore throat this morning, and yeah, crashed out. And yeah, woke up 5 o'clock as I normally would during the week to go to the gym and work and stuff. Looked around, everyone was fast asleep. Had a very drowsy conversation with Nate. He said they stayed up about 3 o'clock and had one little strap conger to show for their efforts. So wasn't overly disappointed, but I slept through the night because I felt fresh, didn't miss out on any fish. And it has calmed down considerably. It's probably now dropped from like a 22 mile an hour wind to something like a 9, 10. High singles, low double mile an hour wind. And got a little bream rig out straight away, and probably about 10 minutes later had a little dab flatfish. I think it was a dab anyway, some sort of flatfish or place. Beautiful fish, not very big. I've got a quite heavy rod, so didn't really see the bite. The line just went slack. Reeled it in, put a bit of seaweed on, but no, it was a little flatfish of some sort. Which is actually the first fish I caught last time I came to Chesil, funnily enough. And I've got a few other species after that, like whiting and stuff and pouting. So hopefully it does mean there's some other species around. Maybe I'll catch a bream, that'd be ideal. If I catch a bream, I'd love that. If not, maybe just catch a few more species. It basically feels like a fresh day. Fresh start. Got 2 rods now again. They're not mine. Maybe not the best, but I'm not going to complain. Got given 2 rods to use. I'd rather just sit there for the rest of the session. We've got to about 3 o'clock. We need to be back at the van by, so leave here just after 2. It's now about 7:30. So I've got 6.5 hours fishing. I'm going to try and fish hard now. Just sit here by the rods, try and catch a few fish, see what happens. Currently got a bream rig out with some ragworm on, going for the real small species. I've got a pulley rig with a whole mackerel on, well minus the head. Try and catch some bigger species, but I might change that to squid, just scale it down a little bit. The mackerel was more for night time, which I missed that opportunity now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna change that mackerel for some squid shortly. Whack that out there, not as hard as I can. I can't break any more rods, especially other people's rods. And yeah, just keep you updated throughout the session. And yeah, just see if we can catch some more species before we go home. Right, good morning. About 6:30 in the morning. I totally crashed out last night. Went for a nap about 10 o'clock and didn't wake up till about 5 in the morning. I think Nate had a little baby conger in the night. And yeah, just a lot calmer this morning. So I chucked out a bream rig with some ragworm on. And I've had, I think this is a little dab, some sort of little flatfish on the ragworm. Yeah, line just went slack. And I thought it was a bit of seaweed on the line. Quite a heavy rod, so I didn't really feel much of a fish. But then I saw him come up the beach. Yeah, very pretty pattern. And yeah, get the rod back out there in a minute. More ragworms, see if we can catch a few more. It's a fish at least, there's his underbelly. Right, gonna get another rig on, as that's now down to one hook, that rig. So yeah, get a new rig on, get back out there and get a few more. Yeah, I think so. I think it's a bream. It's a bream! Target species, bream! Look at that.
That's cool fish. Very cool.
Right, we can get lots of little nebbly bites. And I think these might be the culprit. My first ever black bream. I'm pretty happy with that. Beautiful colours on it. Beautiful colours. Get a little photo of him. Yeah. Get him back and get the rod back out there. Yee. He's lovely.
Ready?
Yep.
Photos?
Yeah. Right, so I've just got a fresh rig onto that rod. Before I cast it out, just want to quickly run through what it is. So this is a bream rig. So it's from a guy called the Shore Hunter. So he's fishes Chesil a lot, does a lot of YouTube stuff. And yeah, I thought I'd just try and support him and buy some pre-tied rigs from him. He knows this place a lot better than most people, especially me. So if you want a more detailed, probably better approach than what I'm doing, go check out his channel. Not like affiliated or plug in, anything like that, just generally just want to try his rigs. So here they are. So you get 5 rigs in a pack. I think it was about 20 quid off the top of my head, 5 rigs. So not the cheapest, you can obviously buy cheaper rigs than that, but 1, they do seem really good quality, and 2, I think it's just nice to support an up and coming business, someone just trying to make a living out of fishing, rather than a big corporate company. As you probably tell by my voice, I'm really tired. So, swirl at the top, gone to your leader. I've just actually gone to my main line. And then it's basically like a 2-hook flapper rig essentially. The first one, I haven't seen this before. So you've got your 2 crimps where my thumbs are there as normal and some beads. There's actually a little spring. There's actually a little spring. Just pushes it back up. And then the same again, but without the spring down the bottom. So yeah, essentially it's a flapper rig. And also just helps that ragworm flutter around nice and naturally. So yeah, that's what we'll be fishing with the rest of today. Now it's a lot calmer. I can keep this rod out here. 6-ounce grappling lead on the bottom. Okay, and also what's on there is like a little plastic hook. So again, I guess to help protect the bait, help get some distance and stop your rig from tangling. There's a little plastic hook there. So that's your hook sits in, like so, and when that hits the water, that rotates and releases your hook. So let's get that out there so we can get a few more fish. Nate's just getting this stuff ready, copying me as always. No. Got a few taps on the left hand rod there. Oh yeah, and again, let's see if we've got a fish on. It wasn't long before I'd landed a fair few small bream, so I decided to put more effort into my bigger baited rod to try and finish the session with a more sizable specimen. Right, I'll just go through my second rig as I recast it. So I've been flipping between an up and over rig and a pulley rig, and this morning I've gone back just to a pulley rig. It's nice and simple. Again, this is from the Shore Hunter. Let's check out his website for all his rigs. This is his Chesil pulley rig. And it's kind of a standard pulley rig as you'd expect. Your leader, your main line, goes on the top of that pulley bead. And then on one side of that, you've got a little bead and a swivel that will come down to your hooks and obviously your bait. And then on the other side, you've got your clip with your lead. Okay, if you haven't seen this before, this clip got a little red circle at the bottom. You push that up. If you look in the centre there, you can just see a little gap form. So you put your hook into there, then pull it down, and it closes it over. And yeah, I've got some mackerel to use up, so I've literally just gone for a big whole mackerel, well, apart from the head. A mackerel tail, if you like. Yeah, I'll try and show you this on camera. So place your hook in there, like so. Pull that red bit down. So that hook is close in there. And when this hits the water, it just releases it. So your bait and hooks are free. So there we go. Coming down to your pulley system at the top there. So let's get that cast out. Obviously I'm hoping for a big fish. The plan was to fish that overnight and try and catch some conger, apparently taupe, stuff like that. But that didn't quite go to plan. Let's get this out there. Despite rebaiting and casting regularly and trying a squid and ragworm combo, I didn't manage any more fish. But it was great just to be sitting out in the elements, taking in the atmosphere and enjoying the whole experience that Chesil brings. Right guys, it's almost time to pack up and go home now. It's got one rod left in the water. The only rod that's done any bites on that bream rig. But yeah, time to sadly pack up and go home in a bit. So to summarise this session, there's been a few ups and downs to say the least. Obviously you arrived for optimism, excitement and hope, and yeah, that was soon dashed away from me. 2 rods broken in the space of a couple of hours, and yeah, struggling to fish in the conditions. Bit too windy, bit too much current and swell out there for me to cast out as far as I needed to. So that's something I'm definitely going to work on before I come back next time, is go to YouTube and see a few different techniques if I can develop my cast to get a bit further out. So I think that would have made a difference, especially earlier on in the session. Not so much on the second day when the fish have been close in, all this bream and pretty close in, a little over around the sharks have been fine. But it's always good to try and improve yourself. And yeah, kind of slept all night. Woke up, it's always like a fresh session this morning. Started off with a little dab and then got some bream as well. And finish off, Nate got a really nice bream. Yeah, fish of the session by far. He's going to take that one home and cook it up. Fish dip living for, it's a lovely fish. Gave quite a good scrap by all accounts by the looks of it as well. A couple of taps on the rod, little tap 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 like a bream does, and then whack, went over. You know, kind of pulled the rod up the rod rest a little bit. But yeah, that's about it for the session really. Big thanks to Shore Hunter for his rigs. They are by far the best pre-bought rigs I've ever bought. I'm not just saying that, I've got no reason to say that. But yeah, really high quality. I'll definitely just be using those from now on, I think. safe faffing around. It has meant I've managed to travel really light. The walk up here has been fine. Hopefully the walk back is too. Yeah, we're hoping for one more fish before we go, but I think that's a wrap, to be honest. Hope you enjoyed watching. If you're thinking about coming up here for the first time, hopefully it's giving you a little taster of what to expect. All I say is pack as light as you can. If it's your first time here, don't come up if it's got a really high southwesterly wind, or maybe any sort of wind, or any big swell. Give yourself a chance, come on a nice calm sort of day in the summertime especially. Yeah, if you can. We can't. We booked this weekend off for ourselves months ago. It's just hoping we turn up and it's alright. And yeah, despite day one being a bit of a write-off, it's just been nice being outside with my mates, getting away from normal life, having a real good laugh. So try and remember that as well. Fishing's not always that competitive nature of trying to catch as many fish, as big a fish as you can all the time. Just get out and enjoy yourselves. That's what it should be all about. Leave a comment below if you liked it, any advice from the people, that'd be great. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed watching. I will be back again soon, maybe later this summer if I can. See if I get time, would be nice if it's just a day trip. But we'll see. I'm sure we'll do some other sorts of fishing next week. In fact, I plan to do a bit of eel fishing on Tuesday. So yeah, hopefully I can catch an eel or two that evening. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I'll catch you guys again soon.